Blackstone Audio presents Random Acts of Kindness by Lisa Verge Higgins. This book is read by Cassandra Campbell. To my mother, Anne Verge, a survivor and an inspiration. Chapter 1. Throwing away her past was easier than Jenna expected. She turned off Interstate 5 halfway through Oregon and took the exit to the Umpqua Highway. It had been more than 7 hours since she'd glanced in the rearview mirror and watched the skyline of Seattle recede. A rattling came from the back seat as her suitcase slid up against a plastic crate. That crate overflowed with the only things worth keeping. Black and white photos she'd pulled right off the walls, a Parisian coffee press that Nate had bought her in better times, and the tattered remains of Pinky Bear, a stuffed animal loved to baldness that she'd discovered swallowed in dust under her 13-year-old daughter's bed. She flexed her fingers over the steering wheel. A soft jangle of metal brought her attention to the passenger seat. Her Chihuahua mix lifted his head from his puppy bed, rattling his license tags as he pleaded with her with bulging brown eyes. "Don't worry, Lucky. We'll be stopping soon." She slid her fingers along his nicked ears. "Claire's house isn't far from here." The GPS urged her on, guiding her through the twists and turns of the rural road. Her foot lay heavy on the gas. In her mind, she was fleeing an apocalypse. In her mind, the glowing trail of a meteor still streaked the sky behind her, ending in a mushroom cloud that billowed as it belched smoke from the crack it had made in the street in front of her home. Any sensible woman would run from that scenario. It didn't matter that her particular meteor had been a sheaf of papers sliding across a kitchen table. The sound of the impact, the click of a door closing. Her sight went so blurry that she nearly missed the rusted sign that tilted off its pole. She jerked the steering wheel to make the turn onto Singletree Lane. Her old Chevy Lumina kicked up a spray of rocks as the sedan swayed onto the road. Jenna drove under a canopy of pines until there was no more gravel to drive upon. She pulled the car to a stop in front of the lone house buried in ivy. The leaning mailbox sported a number. It matched the scribbled address she'd spent an hour digging out of her email archives. She sat with her hand frozen on the door handle, disturbed by the sudden loss of forward momentum. An impulse had propelled her here. But now, parked in—
Sample complete. Ready to continue?